Bonjour again, and welcome back to the French campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Sweden, out of everyone, has outpaced us in small gun research. They got the Mark III 3-inch gun. They're almost 3 years away from getting that. I now only have the very large gun branch prioritized. Maybe I want to prioritize rangefinders too. Not so much because like coincidence 2 is that much better than the other ones, but I don't want to be left behind when radar starts becoming a thing. Yes, Britain, you have to sail all the way around now because I'm blocking your little strait for 2 more months, and then I take it. And then these two task forces can finally begin to roam around and do things. Now here, we've opened up a naval invasion of Burma. That one's going to pop next turn. Will we be in time, though, to save southern China from the enemy army advance? Not sure. We're also going to take Northeast Korea from the Russians, and then this task force is free to roam around. However, after the battle last turn, they are very, very low on ammunition. Now this 52% ammo, that might not seem too bad. But remember, that includes all the secondary ammunition as well. They ran completely dry of HE for their main guns. The cruisers especially are very, very low on ammo. But hopefully we can manage. Let's see, we're 1 month away. Well, 2 months with commissioning from getting a bunch of destroyers into service. 4 months from getting more torpedo boats, which will be nice. Although we found the way the torpedo launchers are mounted is a little bit problematic. We're probably going to lose Cyrenaica to the British Army. We'll have to remember to take these cruisers out of port before that happens, or they're just going to be teleported somewhere random. But the good news is, the British are losing a lot more transports than we are. Let's see, we've lost 15 this month. And, okay, we're losing the same amount of transports, exactly, actually. That's 15 each. We pushed back their offensive in Sarawak. We're taking Northeast Korea. Right. That invasion did not show up where I wanted it to. Like, so random. Sometimes the invasion is not centered on the port where I think it should be centered. But what happened here, Britain? What happened to your army force? Is that because I opened up the secondary invasion here? Perhaps. We're gonna leave, let's see, this one, Dupleix class, behind for the invasion. Might not lose southern China after all. Interesting. What do we have happening here, Russia? 1 destroyer. That's the survivor. 2 light cruisers versus 2 light cruisers. Russian light cruisers. 11 transports. Level CA is back. Old fan favorite. Let's see now. How do we handle Russian light cruisers? You can see the size difference. The old level CA and the new Dupleix class. Roughly twice the displacement. Actually, almost exactly twice. 6,000 tons versus 3,000 tons. With a little bit of individual variation within the ship class. But for twice the displacement, we only get one extra 7-inch gun. $11.5 million. Yeah. So twice the price tag as well. Well, they are to the northeast, so we're just going to keep sailing until we find them. I think the Lavoisier is a better looking ship though. It looks more like a typical light cruiser. We spotted the convoy. The escorts are in here. We got 4.8 main belts. Let's take a closer look at the Russian light cruisers. You got 6.3-inch guns, fore and aft. Then a mix of 1.8 and 2.1-inch secondaries. Mark 1s. How old are you? Brown powder, gun cotton. Alright. I didn't think it would be that old, given that it has very good armor quality. 55%. .2-kilometer torpedoes. It has 2 single launchers. Gonna turn off my torpedoes. Let's save them for the light cruisers. Let's score some good hits on the torpedo boat, please. Not. It gave it a torpedo target, and it switched targets just before launching. Now these torpedoes are all wasted against that torpedo boat. Great, thank you. At least they're gonna hit. So they're not completely wasted, but I would have liked them to hit the light cruiser instead. OCA has only one side torpedo. Or one side torpedo tube, that is. But there he goes. Not too worried about these light cruisers. They're not likely to go through my main belt. There we go, engine damage. Bring these around, like so. Yeah, the secondary is already targeting the transports. Would that be a rudder hit on Boyarin? Yes. Let's see, bow torpedo. The Odin looks to be going down. Now I don't want to get within their torpedo range. It looks like I am, but there we go. Torpedoes away. Maybe not needed, but we're gonna get some hits, I think. We took one in return. That was unnecessary. So now Dupleix has her rudder out and some flooding. Gonna make hunting down these transports a little bit more annoying. Hopefully they can fix it. Yeah, level CIA will just have to go for these up ahead here. While the play takes care of these guys. Actually, it's decently maneuverable, even without the rudder. That's your turning circle. 341 meters base. That's pretty good. Of course, when it comes to Russia, I will not be able to completely eliminate them. Russia, of course, being a very large nation. So I will be going for a peace treaty with war reparations. Luckily, I already have a bunch of victory points after that battle in the last episode. That was 70,000 victory points just for that one. That should give me some money. And one left. There we go. Good job. Took some unnecessary torpedo hits, but that's fine. You know, it's just a 1 month repair, and it would have been that anyway, so good enough. Another convoy battle here. 3 light cruisers versus 1 armored cruiser. Oh, that's one of mine. Oh shit. They have that one already. Oh, I guess it's... No, that's a 1904 design. It is almost 1904. But they already have it in service. So, yeah, they're a bit ahead of the research curve. For sure. I think we'll just have to try and take out the transports. I don't think we can sink the armored cruiser. Well, unless we get lucky with torpedoes. That is. So everyone, torpedoes off. Don't want them launching prematurely. Let's take a look at Boris. 11-inch guns, Mark IIs. Those are some pretty big guns for a pretty big armored cruiser. And some very decent armor. 3 on the fore and aft belts. 8 on the main belt. I do have a bad feeling about this. That thing could very easily destroy my light cruisers. Or could it? 10,000 meters, 10.2 inches of penetration. I think 3.5 times is when you the penetration of the armor thickness. I think that's when you get over penetrations. The transports have guns too, actually. So if I can close, they're just gonna be overpenning my belts, and the HE does not have enough penetration to score HE penetrations. We might have a chance. The secondary guns do not have enough penetration to go through my main belts. We might not be screwed. We could well be, but we might not. That's an expensive cruiser, though. It's battleship types of cost. Well, early battleship. Well, we'll be going in with one cruiser at a time. Kind of just works out that way because they all got different top speeds. Bow torpedo, go. And you got incoming torpedoes against me as well. That's fine. Bow torpedo will hit. No, it will not hit. Never mind. Side torpedoes will probably hit. I think we got her. I was worried for a second. Looks like all of them were duds, but no. They were not all duds. Some of them actually did damage. Oh, Davut and Tajé, you have been fighting bigger ships before. This one is not even that badly damaged. See, butt torpedo and side torpedoes on the other side. Tajé. Torpedoes are away. Torpedoes are in the water. Bow torpedo from Tajé as well. Same on those side torpedoes. Well, Davut comes in from the other side. Ooh, but we take a pretty mean hit to the engine. I think it's fine. I think it's fixable. And just as planned, the enemy cruiser is shielding Davut from my own torpedoes. Or we're gonna pretend that was just as planned. Maybe this will be a nice thumbnail. I think that's the Anaboris. Yeah, it's all red, it's flooding all over. And my cruisers are in decent shape. After all of that, Davu even fixed her engine. So now it's just the transports left. That was pretty nice, I think. I did not have high hopes when I saw what we were up against. But I guess I was lucky that I didn't add more armor to these cruisers, or they'd be taking a lot more damage from full penetrations. Let's see, you've actually only done one overpen. Everything else is blocked, or ricochet, or partial pens. Nice. It's a pretty big convoy as well. So it's payday. Potentially, unless the secondary guns on the convoy, well, not secondary guns, that's their main guns, aren't they? But the guns on the transports, unless they take out my light cruisers, then this is a good payday. And we do a pretty good job of gunning them down. Gonna sail alongside their column, raking them. I think this is a 15 transport convoy. 15 transports is as much as I lost the entirety of last month, just from, you know, at the start of the turn, not from convoy battles. Not sure how much Russia lost in the same time period. It was probably a few. Plus they also lost, what, 11 in the last convoy battle, so that should be hurting them pretty bad, I think. Tajay following up behind, cleaning up the stragglers. Yep. Beluga pretty close to surrendering as well. Dupleix, you better just slow down here. Slow your roll. And that's all of them. Yeah, 14,500 victory points. Most of that from this one, though. That very expensive armored cruiser. Actually, these transports, quite pricey as well. Big transports. Almost 19,000 tons. With max displacement. Not displacing all of it. I guess they were not fully laden, but still. And we get away with it, only taking light damage. Now that's seamanship. 1 month left, and then these can go and do things. Destroyers are in service. Good to see. Yeah, what happened to the British Army force here? I think it's because I opened up the naval invasion, but I'm not sure. They could have just been moved somewhere else because the British AI started another army advance. This is a problem, potentially. They're trying to take the Philippines from me. But that's going to take a while. So, no, we're good. In fact, what we're going to do, this task force, having gotten a lot of their ammo back, up to 100% on the armored cruisers already. How did they resupply so quickly? I'm not sure. Usually that takes many, many months. They're free to go and deal with this. I don't want them fighting this entire task force because they do not have... Well, the cruisers apparently do have the ammo for that, but not the battleships. And also, no torpedo boats or destroyers left. So, let's see what else. 1 month away from getting Mark II 14-inch guns. You know, reducing a 2 month down to a 1 month, that is not efficient use out of a priority. So we're gonna put that there for 1 month. And then move back to the very large guns. Because I will be needing my large guns to, my very large guns to not be stuck behind the curve later on. When we get into the true dreadnought years. I'm not sure what the British are even doing with their battleships. They're just hanging around here. Are they fighting someone else? They're fighting Brazil. Well, what is Brazil doing? And Brazil is also fighting Japan and Greece. They do have a navy here. But what they intend to do with that navy, I'm not sure. Let's see, naval invasion. We can probably open up another one. Let's see, Borneo maybe? Britain. What can you feed me in terms of territory? North Borneo, 2,000 tons. Singapore, 100,000. That's gonna have to wait. I'll need to consolidate more tonnage and in the area. We can grab North Borneo. We have a free light cruiser. Somewhere. On calm. De Gras. You can do it. You have the displacement. There we go. Well, it looks like the British were not in time to defend Gibraltar, because it looks like I got it. There's a French flag there. But they did send a task force to try and prevent me from taking it. That's a pretty big task force. And it includes a bunch of shared design battleships. The Hoodlum class is a, I think it's called like a semi-dreadnought, the type of hull, which is the British equivalent to my not a dreadnought Magritte class. It has a main armament of 2 different calibers. It's got 2 single 15-inch guns and 4 double 10-inch guns. Now you could put bigger like side guns on it than 10-inch if you really widen the hull, but I didn't. So they got 3 of those. They got 1 formidable class battleship by MDY. I'm not sure who that is. That's from one of the shared design packs I downloaded. But the Hoodlum, anyway, that's a 1904 design. I'm pretty sure. Or is it a 19... It could be an 1898 design, actually, now that I think about it. In London, that might be an AI design. Got a bunch of Europa-class armored cruisers. Pomone and Lowestoft-class light cruisers. That's a lot of light cruisers. That's a lot of ships in general. Let's see, their battleships are doing actually 19 knots for the Hoodlums. Formidable and London are a little bit slower. Armored cruisers 17.3. Lights are at 18.2, and the they had some Pomone class, didn't they? Yes, 19.1. Destroyers 26 knot Usk class. And torpedo boats 22 knot Teaser. Well, this will be a challenge. This task force only has 2 battleships. But they are of the new Patrie class that we have a lot of hopes for. And 4 of the new Victor Hugo class armored cruisers. 8 torpedo boats. We're just going to have to take care that torpedoes don't traverse around and get stuck too much. But I am going to be real lame and let this be in the next episode instead, because this is a pretty big battle. Even though we don't have the biggest task force here, it's going to be one of those fighting retreat kind of battles. We might not be able to sink the battleships, but we're going to take the destroyers and the light cruisers and everything else, hopefully. At least it's not 47 destroyers this time. Yeah, next time we're doing this, and it's going to be a fight. Goodbye, and take care.